Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 105 of Trials and Trebuchets. I am your Dungeon Master, Luke, and joining me are my players, whose names are this.
Whoa, sup, listeners? My name is Ben, and I play the ever-cool and chill little gnome wizard, Winslow Wallaby, along with his equally tubular, fanciful, familiar friend, Mr. Wiggles.
When Ben's surfer hair swoosh is complimenting this voice very well.
Oh yes.
Hello everyone, it's me Carla, and I play the level 6 Tiefling Rogue, Locke, level 5 Rogue, level 1 Warlock, Integrity Addleberry. Snack! Anybody want some cold eclairs and cream puffs? Snack! I'm selling to you, Ben, after you surf. Do you want some snacks?
Sure.
Okay.
She builds a stand on the beach.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, and I play Mira Mershon, the level 6 half-elf bard. I try to solve it every day. I'm rehearsing what to say when the truth comes out about Underbow's death. I've been working on a unified theory. If I make it back to school, all the council's gonna hear me out. It's all Swim's fault.
Oh, that was very good. I don't usually get the references in the songs you sing, but that one I got, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my name is Sam, and I play the level 6 human sorceress Serenep Cinderman, and she is prepared to file a report on a hostile school environment with the council immediately.
Okay. And last time on Trials and Trebuchets, the students attended the headmaster naming ceremony for Headmaster Crow.
Yay.
They partially paid attention to his speech before their attention was drawn to the nearby stairwell, making perfect excuses for leaving and drawing absolutely no extra attention to themselves whatsoever. They followed who they thought was their mentor downstairs. After asking some rather odd questions, this fake artist revealed himself to be a conspiratorial Alteen, attempting to figure out Underbow's death, the fires on campus, as well as the Nebulosis heist, all of which he is attempting to pin on the students. And he pissed off, and they all yelled at him a bit, and over came the new headmaster and a couple members of the Council of Administrators. This new headmaster Osei Crow, as well as one Yithriak's light son, who you've met a long-ish time ago, a few weeks past when you went to Lightmere, as well as Lord Peters from the capital, who Serenep knows and is acquainted with.
Instant stress.
So, you're on the first floor of the evocation building department, right next to this large field. These three have just come over to the group of you, and the people above sitting upon the bleachers, the rest of the school they are standing and slowly filtering out. Lord Peters will be the first to address you all and say, that's not his voice. Is there a reason the four of you are out of your seats? Was there an emergency or something? We heard you yelling over here in the middle of Headmaster Crow's speech. What seems to be the problem?
Basically, we believed we were being asked the attention of our mentor, and when we came out, we were bombarded by Mr. Do we actually is his last name Alteen or is his first name Alteen?
I think it's his first name.
It's his first name.
Do we know his last name?
Yeah, it is his first name.
It's in the Patreon notes.
It's somewhere.
Shit. We were surprised to see Mr. Alteen, who began to ask us some very disturbing questions and threatened our safety at the school.
Yes. Did he physically threaten you? Was there a threat of violence? Because that is firmly not permitted by his position.
He implied he was trying to get us expelled.
He didn't actually. He didn't threaten us per se with violence, but he looked quite unhinged.
It might not be proper to discuss these things quite so publicly with everyone. And Lord Peters will kind of look to the other two members of the council quickly before continuing and saying, like, almost for like, is it okay to say this? And like, I think Yithriax would nod and he would turn back to you all and say, so please don't go spreading it around as a rumor or anything. But Altine was removed from his position formally and is now working for a single member of the Council of Administrators. So just know that if he does approach you about something like this, just go to a member of the faculty or Headmaster Crow here, and Lord Peter will place a gentle and old knobbly hand on this young new headmaster's shoulder.
Of course.
I don't think we know him that well enough yet.
Who does Altine work for?
Are you just asking this generally, or are you asking a specific are you looking at a specific person when you ask this, Mira?
Well, she was asking Lord Peters because he was the one
Okay.
who said, like,
Perfect.
oh, he works for a specific person.
Underbow, but he's dead.
If you might have noticed that certain members of the council were not here. The Lady of the Woods, Algrim, was not well enough to join us here this morning. Altine has begun to work for her and is going to be remaining on campus as a set of eyes and ears for her to
Cool.
watch over the goings-on of campus, as it were. Which is utterly within the rights of everyone on the council. It is in our very interest to keep the school running smoothly without problem. But if the man does give you problems, please, Headmaster Crow, any of the attendants who are going to be joining the staff here at Wildcliff, even your mentor would likely be able to sort you out or help you get things sorted out. I would very much hope. And Headmaster Crow, at that, when Lord Peter says, like, maybe probably your mentor will be able to help out, he will kind of turn his head and say, you are all under the mentorship of Artis Artesian, correct? If I remember properly, we've only met the one time before, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
And okay. Just briefly before everyone comes down the stairs, I had intended to talk to you four as well as a few other people who had been in the former headmaster's bad books, to put it. Is your mentor doing an adequate job here? There was notes left from Headmaster Underbow that seemed to indicate otherwise, but I wanted to check and see what your opinions were before making any rash decisions.
Do you want to talk about this now? Here?
If you wanted to, we could go to my office if that would be more comfortable for you. We could probably have a better little roundtable discussion about it, just the five of us.
Oh, no. He's perfect. He's perfect. Perfect like a peach.
Like a peach.
He's a really, really great mentor. He always makes sure that we are learning and always makes sure that we are, doing the best that we can. And maybe Underbow just didn't like Artis as a person, but he's a fantastic mentor.
I agree with my teammates here. Sorry.
Sarah enough smokes 6 packs a day.
Jesus.
You clear your throat. Don't be hasty.
Haven't been the same since the accident.
Do the four of you have any strong feelings about Headmaster Underbow that you'd be willing to share with me? Again, the offer to come to my office and just have a quick conversation about it is there. You'll be excused from classes, of course.
I
Well,
don't have anything
Nothing
against
strong
him.
now.
I am sad in his passing, but I did not know him well as a person to really have a large insight. He was a good headmaster, of course.
He was strict, but, that's expected,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He had a bowl of candy on his desk that you could take.
Not the bowl
Okay.
itself.
He had a
but, like,
nice window
candy.
in his office.
And I'm going to whisper, as much as possible. Like, I'm glad he didn't throw us out the window.
I love it. It's
Okay,
so
a
chill.
bowl of candy. I can take care of that. Any. Okay. Do you think that it would be worthwhile? The four of you obviously don't seem to have any negative perception of the man. Do you think that there would be any other students who it might be smart to speak with, just to get some notes? There was a few other students on record, a Purebone and a Lindman, and then a girl Sunfire who had a binder 7 inches thick or so of things that have just notes about her. I was planning to speak with the 3 of them sometime later in the week, but aside from those, could you think of anyone?
I don't really know.
I mean, if you want hot takes on Underbow, Syndra might be worth speaking to, but
Oh.
Yes, Syndra Sunfire. She's the girl I was referencing. Yes, a very extensive and well documented log of her seemingly day-to-day or week-to-week actions. But that's not for me to really discuss with other students.
You know, one good source of information might be, like the gossip.
The gossip.
Angelica or Ari?
Well, maybe Ari
The
or
golem, correct?
Angelica, just to find out what the general view of Professor Underbow was.
You're speaking about the golem, correct?
Oh, they're super into gossip, yeah.
Unfortunately, the golems are no longer. We don't know their whereabouts currently, so I won't be able to do that. Any information on that subject, if you do happen to know where Ari or the other one, Toll, or any of the Jeeds have gone, would be appreciated. And he'll look at you, Winsler, and smirk a little bit.
He knows too much.
I give him a
Oh my
cold, empty
gosh.
stare.
Okay, sure. And he'll smile and raise his hand and say, but if you don't know anything, that's perfectly acceptable too. That's what I expected. Again, if Altine does give you trouble, I'm at the top floor of the alchemy building for the time being. So you know where to find me.
I'm going to bow down.
What?
Okay.
Huh?
So as other students, as other members of faculty begin to climb down these stairs, kind of murmuring to themselves, they all just see this scene of Integrity getting down and bowing. Like, bowing how? Like, just bowing, hinge at the hip, or get on the ground and bow?
Oh no, not like that. Sort of out of respect, because
okay.
I'm sort of scared. I know that we didn't have a good relationship with Underbow, so I guess I'm sort of trying to get on the good side of this new headmaster.
Okay.
So I'm just being super respectful, super being I'm so scared.
Okay. Interesting. He would probably
I
laugh
just want
at that.
everyone to love me.
He would probably laugh at that and say, well, if that's all, then I hope the 4 of you enjoy your day. And he'll give a very charming smile. Maybe try to shake some hands. Yeah, I think he'll try to shake all your hands. Go right to left, just get a nice firm handshake, a twinkle of the eye, smile, there's a little twinkle on the teeth, you know, right? Very much
Spoken like a CEO.
Yeah.
This is like giving a TED talk constantly is the vibe that I'm getting.
And Yithriax will be the last one. Peters will wave fondly and start to very slowly make his way away, accompanied by the new headmaster Crow. And Yithriax, this very large umber-colored dragonborn, will hesitate for a moment and will turn to the 4 of you and will say, I just wanted to say thank you. We haven't had a chance to speak since you left Lightmere. I just wanted to thank you for bringing everything that was going on to our attention there. And I just wanted to let you know that most of it's been sorted out so far. The little citadel underneath the hot springs has been purged of any spirits that remain.
Spirits? Apparitions?
So just
Apparition
thank
that
you
kicked
for...
you.
Ghouls?
We've been in conversations with the Toldir dwarves about what might have been going on there, and just thank you for bringing it to our attention that it was something that was still happening.
I'm glad we were able to come to a resolution.
And they'll just stare
Yeah,
for a couple
totally.
of seconds quietly.
How's Grandpa Hat?
How's Grandpa Hat?
Oh my god. Sarah pinches the bridge of her nose.
Yeah. The hot springs have been closed for a few weeks while investigation and purging, blessing of the sanctifying of the area was undergoing. But the hot springs are opening. Mr. Hatifax seems to be back in the same grumpy spirits as always. I'll let him know that you asked about him.
Excellent.
Yes,
sure it'll
they
really
we
warm
asked
his
after
heart.
Grandpa Hat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, please tell
those
him.
words.
Guys,
I'll let him know
please.
Exactly those
Yes,
words.
in those
yes.
specific words. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. I'm gonna like put my hand like down like to my side to like reach for a high five for Winsler.
A high five.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Ythriax will
The tormenting
bow
will never end.
and go rush to catch up with the other administrators. And now you're all just very much free. Other students kind of fill the breezeway beside you and are going about their morning stuff. It's probably just before noon, and so you would be going to you have until 12:30ish to get to classes, I would say. But what would you all like to be doing?
I guess I'm gonna be looking for my other friends in the crowd as they all kind of head out.
Other friends. Okay.
Well, I mean, I have two, maybe 3 other friends.
You have friends other than us?
How dare
Does Philip
you?
count as a friend, or is Philip just more of a?
Well, I'm friends with
Something.
Angelica. I'm friends with
Pre-boyfriend.
Angelica.
A
I'm
boothang.
friends with Philip. I'm on good occasion with Karina. That's how Sereneth views it, at least.
Interesting. All right.
If you say so.
Yeah, they're there. If you wanted to catch up with them, you could all go and get lunch. Was there anything, I guess more generally, was there anything big that you all wanted to get done, side things, goal accomplishment, things that you would want to be doing today or in the afternoon, evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like general bit greater context in what is going on? Or would you be okay waiting for that stuff?
Waiting.
Okay.
Waiting.
Okay. Perfect. So carry on with your student lives and your regular school things.
Getting our learning on.
Get
Hell
your
yeah,
learning
learning.
on, going to classes.
I'm all caught up
Um,
after all those 2 weeks of additional reading.
Correct.
Mira's gonna try to go to the dining hall before anyone else gets there because she knows there's a muffin type that Delnus likes, so she's gonna try to get extras and get one for her before they both have to go to classes.
That's
What
smart.
type of muffin is it?
Will you be waiting outside your classroom door and being like, "Hey, I got you a muffin"?
That's very cute.
Aww.
What kind of muffin is it?
Carrot. Like a carrot cake, but it's a muffin.
Yes.
A
Yep.
carrot? How rich are you?
A carrot.
But are they gold muffins or diamond? Because they both use carrots.
True.
Yeah, what's the spelling? No.
Yeah.
Well, diamonds is the sprinkle.
It's made with powdered diamond.
Gold.
Oh my god.
Carrot
Things
muffin.
are really changing since the
Did you
CEO started in this
Hey,
school. We get gold flake muffins now.
Did you choose carrot muffins because she likes rabbits?
Perhaps.
Oh.
That would be an adorable reason to like carrot muffins, though. Hear me out.
Karen muffins.
No.
They have the haircut. Okay.
Was there anything else anyone else? I love how quickly you transitioned away from that. Was there anything anyone else wanted to be doing, getting up to outside of class? I'm assuming you're all just gonna go and get food and then go to class and stuff. But
Yes.
extracurricular things. Oh, Ben Winsler.
Well, no, I was just answering your
Oh, okay.
basic statement
I
to what
thought-
you were saying.
Yes, correct. Okay, sorry, I got excited. Do y'all want to get up to hijinks of some sort on your own time? As a
If I
group?
can ask a question.
Yes.
So, after confirming with everybody else what was going to happen, she sent the proper invitation to be like, sorry, I just wanted to make the letter look nice or something like that, and send it off. Has she received anything back from that yet?
Like a response from your parents?
Yeah, just to be because 100% they probably got a flyer and they know what's happening,
Yes.
but they would expect a proper invitation, so.
Absolutely.
Bills again.
Yeah. Into the fireplace.
Well, there we go.
Are we paying a bill called Sereneth?
You
The
would
most expensive one.
You would absolutely have received a response. You would absolutely have received a response. Within like a week or something, which is absurd for snail mail, as it were. Like non-magical mail does not move that fast, so you don't know what's going on.
Too
And
bad
it
there's no
was-
system for the mail to move faster, huh?
Shucks.
Is there an express express mail?
It's
Can't they just like
magic,
toss them through the portal and be like, oh, the mail's here?
So you would have received a response within like the week that was something along the lines, Serenup, of we look forward to coming and seeing you,
Wonderful.
your parents. Like just very like not like, oh, I'm glad, I hope you're doing well, but just like it almost would have a menacing tone of like, we hope everything's in good order.
Yeah, like we
And
hope
we
you're staying up, you're
anticipate-
sticking up to your end of the
Yes.
bargain.
And we anticipate seeing you shortly, daughter.
Jeez.
I think something else you'd be doing with Philip's consent and everything,
Yeah.
slowly moving Virgil into and getting him used to Philip's room, because they're gonna want to probably see her dorm and they're gonna be like, why is there this animal
Not even allowed
here?
to have pets.
Yeah. That's a good, I'm going to make a note of that. That's a good, smart plan. Make an animal
Just-
handling check.
Cool. How good am I at handling animals?
You're gonna sleep at your dad's, okay?
I got 20.
Okay. I think Virgil is very reasonable to be trained. He's very easily persuaded. Yeah, with treats or snacks rather, I feel like you could convince Virgil to do anything at
Oh,
all.
hell yes.
So within the span of like a week or two that you've been trying to get Virgil used to and not like freaking out to be in Philip's room like alone or just rather without you, I think it's been going pretty well. And definitely by the time Autumn's End Festival actually full blown starts, it'll be like no problem whatsoever.
Perfect.
Where the rest
Baby's
of
becoming
you,
independent.
yeah, baby's growing up.
Baby already grew up.
How much time is there between like the end of the assembly to the start of classes?
Like 40-ish minutes, but then you also have the evening after classes to do whatever.
Well, I think I'll use it to yeah. I won't do anything within that short period of time.
Okay.
Like just hang out with friends.
Okay.
Like get to know Ira.
Oh,
And
interesting.
Hang out
Tonight?
with Sylvie. No, during the 40-minute gap.
Oh, like
before
getting food and stuff.
classes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Is Winsler doing anything?
Yes.
Yes.
In all of the free time, I am going to mull over the notes that were transcribed from the party.
In like the notes on liches
Yes,
and
those-
phylacteries.
Yes, those are the notes that were transcribed,
Those
and that is what I was
notes.
alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to read.
Give me an Arcana check.
Uh-oh. I'm not good at magic.
How much magic
Says
do you
the
know, baby
wizard.
boy?
Well, Arcana's wisdom, and right? And
No.
or is it int?
No, it's in.
No, it isn't. So there's no reason you shouldn't be good at it.
You say that. I got a 10.
Oh my
What
gosh.
the fuck?
That was with modifiers, by the way.
You're not sure if the word says sacrifice or egg muffin, so
Egg muffin. We must sacrifice an egg muffin.
How big is your
like
modifier?
I think that's what it says.
It's +7.
Oh damn! You rolled a
So I rolled a
3.
3.
Oops.
My Arcana rolls suck. This is known.
There's a lot of wacky nomenclature that is used regarding the potion itself. There's a potion component to this.
Oh, I gotta drink shit?
Yes. And
Gross.
it's almost like from what you can tell, the first part makes sense. And it's like, you need to get all these steps prepared and then get this potion and drink it. And that part makes sense. And you know that drinking it is something that happens. And then afterwards, there will be a transference of the soul that happens. But like the in-between steps of like how to prepare potion and what the ceremony for potion does is just the nomenclature involved is so deeply rooted in like, it's just a very high level alchemical operation that's occurring and doesn't your knowledge of alchemy and the requisite knowledge to understand what's happening here, you can understand some of the ingredients such as like the inner ears of ravens and other such things.
Ugh.
But other than that, it's very foreign and difficult to parse for you.
Okay.
If you spoke to someone who understood alchemy better, or took time to probably like a couple of weeks of itself to parse this individual recipe and attempt to make it a couple of times, it would probably make more sense.
Okay.
Talk to the best alchemist student ever.
Integrity.
In his- Oh.
Oof.
Windsor really hates Ainsley, huh?
So I hope that clears things up for
Yes.
you, Winsler. Okay.
Yes.
And then that evening, after classes wrap up and everyone can go to either their own personal to do their own personal things in their own personal dorms or otherwise. Winsler, would you just return to your dorm, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. If you returned home, you would find that Yogg has dedicated himself to cleaning up around
Oh
the room.
my god.
Aww.
And so what once was a industrial waste dumping zone is now slightly cleaned up
What
a
was
little
once
bit.
a dump is now a
There's
shinier
no-
dump.
There's no broken glass on the ground, nor is there like all the sand and gravel and dust and grime and who knows what that was on the ground has been cleaned up and disposed of. When you come in, actually, Yogg is in the process of like putting up tiny little wooden slats on the window to like cover
Aw.
some of the broken panes, and they will turn and say, "Hello, creator. I hope that your day was excellent."
That day was okay. What were you doing in here? I see the room is not in a terrible state anymore.
Yes, I took a brief walk about the campus to exercise my own freedoms before returning home and deciding that I would repay your gift of creation by cleaning our home.
I do want to thank you for that because the place was a terrible mess, but how long did you go on that walk?
I was out for about 4 hours.
Oh, Jesus. That was a long ass walk.
I saw many empty rooms, and then they'll like fiddle with their hands for a second and like raise up their right hand to you, and you see that their like middle finger like peels back and there's just a key there. And they will
Yeah.
say, "My finger unlocks many doors, but not all doors. There were some
Project
that
key.
were unbreachable even for me."
Unbreachable? Was Yaga like breaking and entering
100%.
with a key?
If there's a key, it's just regular entering.
Oh my god. Well, I'm glad
Is
you
this-
enjoyed. I'm glad you enjoyed your walk, and
Yes.
you know, you could probably take a break from cleaning because it is far more habitable in here.
I saw a few people on my walk and waved to them, and they waved to me greatly. They seemed shocked to see me, but I presume that is because we have not been introduced yet.
Yeah, that's probably why. Well, I'm glad that you had a great day today, and I hope you can have more fun tomorrow too.
Aw,
Yes.
This is so wholesome.
I don't recommend unlocking people's doors though.
Oh, is that dangerous? I was
Yeah.
very prepared to be safe. Do not worry,
In-
creator.
I had my gun out.
I'm more concerned about the people in the rooms you might
I
be
can
unlocking.
I can show you the recording of where all of the places I went to if you would like. And you see on like their orb head or like their like crystal ball head, just like first person footage of them walking around campus starts to play and like holding out a finger and like opening doors and
Oh
like
my
opening someone's private office and then looking around and then leaving and going to the next office and opening that one. The doors were not closed afterwards.
Oh,
Oh
my gosh,
my
just
God.
random open doors all
right.
over the school.
So we're gonna ban the whole key thing
Absolutely.
for now.
Mm.
So no more unlocking doors.
Keys are a privilege that I will earn in time.
Yes, maybe.
Very well. I look forward to it, creator.
We'll add that on the list.
They will like go and sit down at the desk and just sit there with their hands
Just
like the back up straight,
Just vibe.
hands on knees, staring at the wall.
oh my god.
And yeah, you can
Yogg
grab
is
some.
absurd.
You can grab some rest if you'd like.
Yes. In this
Uh,
semi-livable space now.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And is that everything for the night? No one has any other pressing matters? I
Carla
just want to check.
does.
Pardon?
Oh.
I meant integrity, not Carla.
Carla does.
Carla does?
Carla's not in this.
Carla's
what
broken
doesn't-
into the school and she has demands.
What does integrity want to be doing? What's up?
So there's a consensus from, because I don't remember if Professor Doss said anything specific about where like the most magical places are, right? Like she didn't say anything specific.
Nah, kind of just like, you'll figure it out. You're smart enough.
But Zara did say that places where birth and death happens is very powerful.
Yes.
Or has like strong magical flow.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure like to read up on this, and if I like what information do I find in regards to this? Like would this be something that is in the normal library or the restricted?
It depends on what approach you want to take. The way Zara answered your question was from a divine perspective, just because that's her own background. But looking at it from an arcane magic perspective, you might find a different answer. So just tell me how you want to approach this.
Okay. So I want to get this right just because the stakes are high. It's quite expensive to get this spell.
Yes.
From Professor Doss. I don't know if it was actually that expensive or she's broke and she needs more money.
Listen, conjuration department needs pencils, so
Yeah.
you know, gotta pay up.
So I want to get as much information as possible, like check out different perspectives on how on like places with strong magical flow. So maybe look at magic and architecture or
Give me an Arcana or history check, your choice. And you're going to the archives for this?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Just because like if I ask people, they might sort of identify that I'm doing something. I don't want anyone to know my business.
Okay.
You said Arcana or what?
Arcana or history, your choice.
So that's a 17.
Okay. So with a 17, in the archives, you find a wonderful book about arcane flow. And it seems to be, I think you would recognize it and pull it off the shelf because it is something that was referenced in your spellcraft class, which was with Professor Doss.
Okay.
As like a foundational text on like theories of the arcane, right? And so you can pull this off. It's probably about 300 and some pages long, some dissertation written like a couple hundred years ago by a scholar at Wildcliff. And you can go sit down in one of these large leather comfortable chairs in the archives, probably near the front, I would say, because that's where most of the light would be at this kind of time of day. Like the natural kind of light, not like the artificial floating lights that are in the rest of the archives, if that's something that interests you.
I would sort of want to be sitting at a place where...
Hidden?
Yes. Just because,
okay.
again, I don't want anyone like coming up to me and asking me questions.
Perfect. So, okay, you can sit here and reading through this text. You got a 17?
Yes.
Okay. It's difficult reading matter, but what you can take away is that the arcane energies seem to flow almost like wind over throughout the prime material plane. And they converge in areas that have been historically really low in magic. So very mundane areas like will over time accumulate arcane energy more. Does that make sense? Right? Like almost like wind pressure, right? Like high pressure goes to low pressure.
Oh, okay. That's
right?
interesting.
So if someone goes to an area and does a lot of very, very intense spell casting, it will become depleted of arcane energy, and the arcane energy will then over time flow back into that area from other areas.
Okay.
Right?
So sort of like someone like does like really big magic and then they suck out all the arcane in that area from their magic. Since that area doesn't have any magic, there's like high magic to low magic diffusion
Yes.
happening.
So the two places that you could probably intuit there would be high magic, like convergence zones, that DOS told you that this spell would work in,
Mhm.
would be either areas that are like uncharted territory, like for places that no one's ever cast magic, or places that have not been visited in a long time, but were historically a place where large scale magic was conducted. So like if Wildcliff was to like just end full stop here in like 150 years, it would be intensely high magic zone, right?
Okay.
If that makes sense. But
Yes.
as is, based on what you're reading here, Wildcliff is likely a very low magic zone, just as a result of how much people
lot.
are casting magic and how much magical stuff is here.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
And-
that connects to the divine stuff that Zara had told you in a more unknown way, at least as written here. Like that connection with divine magics is relatively unclear to this researcher.
And does it say, like, in terms of proximity, like, by area, is it like, for example, is it entire Wildcliff that is not magical? Or is it like a room?
Oh yeah,
Is
it's
there
like
any
it's like the like if you cast a spell within a room, it might drain like a sufficiently powerful enough spell. It's like something like a detect magic spell, which isn't the most intense spell, but still requires some amount of energy to use. Then it might drain magic out of a room, not enough to be perceptible, but over time and over with repeated castings of the spell, such as you might have in a school like Wildcliff, it could reasonably lower the amount of magic in the area.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not just like cast a single spell and no one else in that room can cast magic. It's just that over time the area becomes less and less magical.
Okay. That sounds good then. So
Okay.
I
Does
can't
that help?
do it yet. Cool. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And you will leave the archives and walk home to get a good night's sleep. And as you're like walking home, there's a couple of trees on campus, and as you walk under them, you see large accumulations of little blackbirds just watching you as you walk home in the night, and you hear a couple of I as you go back into your
Idleberry.
as you head back to the dormitories and
Okay.
get some good night's rest.
Sounds good.
Also, I should note, since you do go into your room, at this point, there's like a constant burning of incense that is happening in your room as Sylvie is convinced that Ida has dragged in some sort of rotting fruit and is trying to like poison you both with the air.
Okay.
But
And-
there's literally just incense constantly.
Yeah. And I'll be super weirded out by this because I do not smell it.
You don't smell it. You don't suspect Ida. You've investigated like underneath your bed, likely, just to like check, because she is known to drag things under the bed. But you don't find anything that's rotting that would give off that smell.
Okay.
And if thus there's anything else, can we all go to bed?
Sleepy time.
Sleepy time?
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Okay. You all go to bed. You have a wonderful night's rest and can wake up energized in the morning to discover under your doors a small handwritten note
Oh, not again.
placed under there with love and care. And if you were to walk over and open it, I should also note there's no like rude awakenings anymore. Like previously, golems would walk the hallways and bang pots and pans or make like audacious magical noises to wake you all up. For the past couple of weeks, it has been joyous in the mornings, like just waking up when your body wants to wake up. And maybe that's not always the best kind of fucking thing, because you might wake up late, but it's better than being woken up to pots and pans and screaming birds.
I feel
Silver
like
lining.
Alina just is sleeping until 1 p.m.
At least you have an excuse to be late to class.
Staying up until 3 a.m. just reading in bed by candlelight and then waking up at like 1 p.m. Yes, that's
Well,
very
it's
on
canon
brand.
that she does not want to get out of bed in the mornings, so I feel like
Correct,
she's just
yeah.
sleeping in ridiculously late.
Yes. So you'd wake up. Mira, you see Alina. There's a book on her face, and she is snoring loudly, but muffled underneath it. The cover is like pulled up to around her neck, and as if she was like holding the book through her blanket, and then just fell asleep in it, like fell on her face. Winsler, you wake up. Kurt is tinkering with some sort of little metal box at his station. This one, he's deigned not to tell you what it's all about because he plans to use it in the Autumn's End Festival.
Okay.
But it's a little metal deck of cards is what it looks like.
Oh boy.
Integrity, incense is burning, Sylvia is absent, and Sereneth, Virgil is quite soundly sleeping and snoring on your bed. And all of you can grab from under the door a small piece of parchment upon which is written, Planar Research Department tonight. Take the stairs down when you walk in. Be there at 10:45 at the latest. Remember, no magical items in Isithil. Artis.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Road trip.
Indicating to what I was alluding to earlier when I asked if you wanted the context of it, which is y'all are going to have your second field trip to the plane of Isithil.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We love Isithil in this house.
And that's where we'll end this episode.
Hell
I think,
fucking yeah.
on a nice, calm note.
I think this will be a very
Wouldn't
short
that be a
episode
really
then.
short episode?
Is it short?
We've been
Well,
yeah.
recording
There's like 9 minutes.
The
fully
last
for
one
an
was also
hour.
long, so.
Then we started late, and then we had to pause, so it's probably like a 42-minute episode.
Great point. We
Yeah.
can carry on for a little bit longer if y'all want.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, cut that. Cut that, Luke. Thanks.
Cut that.
Thank you all for paying attention to the time when I don't. So that is the context of this whole thing. Knowing that, is there any like additional things that you would have wanted to get done beforehand or like today? Because you're leaving, like he said, like the note says, be there for like 10:45 tonight. Is there anything you would want to get done, like preparatory stuff before you leave tonight? Again, the context of this trip is going and talking to a marsh spirit for like 1 or 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that actually Mira would have spoken to somebody, just like one person in each of her classes, and just been like, hey, is it cool if you like take notes for me so that I have some stuff when I get back on like what I missed?
Mhm.
Because
Yes.
that's new for her. And then I think she'll also like say goodbye to Delnus and just like let her know where I'm going, and like, hey, I can't say exactly like if there's gonna be any weird stuff, that there isn't any plan for there to be, but if there is, like I'll let you know.
I have a question. How do you typically get in contact with Delnus in like the day?
I think we'd probably just like generally like make plans to meet up at around the same time each day, like for lunch or something.
Okay. Awesome.
And so we would just kind of have like a routine to meet up and like hang out each day.
Mm-hmm. I think on like 3 days out of the week, you would have to meet her in like the necromancy department, and she would take a break from like being in lab to like sit and eat with you. Because
Mira would be like looking at all the lab stuff, like, ooh, what's that? Like, ooh, tell me about that.
Yeah. Oh, adorable. Just outstanding. So yeah, you get, so regarding like asking classmates for notes, however, that is not a big problem because all the rest of the first years are traveling as well.
Oh,
So
even
all,
Yexum's
like,
group?
Yes.
Oh,
boy.
shit.
So like all your first year classes are canceled for like 3 days.
Well, damn, all right.
Mhm.
Yee.
No need for notes. That's even better.
Exactly. So Mira's like, actually, can I be proactive and a good student? And everyone's like, no, you don't have to.
Even better.
We appreciate you trying to be a good student, but you don't need to in this context.
Yeah.
Mira's like, sweet, I'm gonna practice more notes.
Would there have been anything you asked artists to prepare? Because there's like packs and some stuff that you guys bring. And based on your trip last time and stuff that might have happened between then, is there anything you would have asked artists to like get in those bags?
I do want to
Gorp.
ask artists.
Yeah.
I do want to ask artists about like the non-magic things, but then okay, so I understand that he's weak without his orb.
Mm.
So I'm just like sort of seeing where we're standing on that. Like
So you would have gone to would you have gone alone to artists and I had this conversation?
probably if no one is going to see artists.
Okay.
I assume like we're just going on about our day, doing our
Mhm.
like last.
But this
minute
could have been in
errands.
any time in the last 2 weeks. Like he would have told you before now, hey, you're going to be doing this. This was only for dramatic purposes that y'all didn't know.
Oh, so we knew the
yes.
entire
I apologize
time?
for not giving that context beforehand.
Okay.
This is a failing of me as a storyteller. I apologize
Well,
for miscommunication.
Integrity does some stuff last minute.
Okay.
And
So you could go and see artists in like the morning.
yeah, and I'm just going to ask like, hey artists.
You're seeing him in his office. You knock on the door. The door is fastened open, books piled in front of the door so that it cannot move either which way. And he is kind of like hurriedly getting all of his stuff together. There's a bright purple backpack on his desk that he's jamming, just trying to smush more papers into that you don't know if he's going to need. He doesn't know if he's going to need. And you see him, and he will turn in his office and say, good morning. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to make sure about, the circles.
The circles? The orbs, you mean?
Yes.
Circles.
I don't know if we're allowed to say the word out loud.
Yes. Just one moment, and he'll walk over and unlatch his door and like push with his foot some of the books out of the way and close his office door. And like gesture for you to sit down, maybe even if you want to. It's a very uncomfortable chair. And then say just about whether or not you should bring them to Isithil.
Yes. Well, because my reasoning behind this is I don't know if I'm really comfortable just leaving them together here. But I also understand that we can't carry something too magical there, or
Yes.
else it will attract bad stuff, and we don't want that.
Brought the two with me previously because I knew that I would suffer without them, as you have seen multiple times now. If you don't feel, I would err on the side of not bringing them, since you've never had any bad effects from not having them with you, to my knowledge.
Well, they've never been too far from me, except the last time we've been to Isithel, but then after that, I've had them
Constantly.
Have
you had any more dreams?
Other than the one from the shack, from your house.
Carla, has Integrity told Artis or any of her friends about her little dealio?
I don't think she has.
Okay. So they know that you had a dream and a talk with the progenitor after you got to Artis's house, but not
the whole warlock thing.
Okay.
They probably think that I just wanted a change, so I have a black like a black streak of hair.
Okay. So Artis will say, it's a cottage. I would appreciate you not calling it my shack.
Oh, sorry.
I think that it's completely up to you. I will be bringing mine with me, and I just worry that having 3 of them would attract unwanted attention.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I bring them, that's 4 orbs in the same plane.
Yes. That could be less than... Well, there were 4 orb... No, because you didn't bring yours last time we were in Isithil.
No, I didn't bring mine.
I would strongly suggest you don't, but I would understand if you did. This is ultimately your decision to make. I don't... The things that happened last time we went weren't related to us having orbs with us. Well, other than my state. None of the horrible things happened to us directly as a result of us having them. It was only the circumstance that led us to my almost death, if you understand what I mean.
Yes. Okay, I just wanted to run it by you first, if I do end up bringing it, but I'm not sure yet. I have the entire day to decide.
Yes, until tonight.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're there 10:45 at the latest, please. Everyone's trying to leave tonight, and there's a very strict schedule, so we have to make sure that we stick to it.
I'll make sure to let everyone know.
Thank you. See you tonight. And he'll look at you with like tired eyes and smile slightly.
I'm going to open the door.
Okay. Awesome. You're not going to tell him about Altine?
I don't want to be the only one to say it.
Okay. So you leave and run off to class or some sort and leave the door open in your wake. Do you like pull it open really hard, or are you actually being courteous?
I'm being courteous this time around.
Okay.
Just because this is like a sensitive subject.
Okay.
Sort of.
And so the rest of you go through your day of classes. Everyone seems to have like, especially like amongst the first years, which is all the people you have classes with, there's like this excited like pre winter break or like spring break energy of like, oh my gosh, we're leaving classes, we get 3 days off. Some people seem to be under the illusion that there's gonna be no schoolwork that's being done while you're in Isithil, but that is not quite the case, and that is all gonna be very fun. What are you all thinking about? What are your feelings towards this trip?
There is a mission that must be done.
Yeah.
It will be done.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
You're thinking about the deal you have with Celti
Yeah.
to grab Ferdinand for her?
Yeah.
Interesting. Are you worried about that at all? Are you
No.
concerned about how it's gonna happen? Are you concerned about your friends or like artists and that?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
like
this
how
is-
it's going.
But this is going to happen.
Okay. It has to happen.
It has
Yeah.
to.
It must be
Mhm.
done.
It will. It must be done.
Oh
It
my
will be done.
Oh God.
What about you, Mira and Saranep? I guess Mira, I want to ask you first. Like, what's going through your head here? Because
Well, Mira's looking forward to the trip, but she's hoping that it's genuinely just going to be a field trip and that there's not
Yeah.
going to be any shenanigans going on. So she's like excited for it, but she's a little bit like, okay, I know that like Faramel lives here. Let's hope that there's no weirdness going on.
okay, perfect. And Saranep, the plane of Isithel is not the greatest place.
Not a kind realm.
Historically for you.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about going back? Like what's kind of like this day leading up to it? What's going through her head?
I think as she's setting out I don't think she's gonna take Virgil with her,
Mm-hmm.
just because
Smart. Big boy.
he can take care of himself now. We've been working with him for the last couple of weeks. She has she bought everything that a pet would need.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she first got Virgil, in her excitement of, oh my God, it's a baby. And so she went to she's gone to the greenhouse and she's gotten extra bugs and everything for him.
Mhm.
She set out pads on the floor that
Yeah.
he can use the bathroom because she knows that Philip's not going to be there to
Yes.
check on him. She just kind of she's getting the room ready, and as she's doing it, she's trying to think of this as positively as possible. I
Mhm.
know the last couple of field trips you've gone on have been crazy, and definitely Isithil was a scarring time,
Mhm.
but maybe all of those bad times means that this time will be better.
Yeah.
And half of her is trying to convince her of that, and half of her is trying not to go into her usual spiral of, oh God, what if everything happens again?
Mhm.
And can you deal with that
Mhm.
happening again?
Mm-hmm.
It's
I think
it's a lot of internal
It's
stuff.
a lot. Yeah. Ooh, they can't all be stinkers, but they all have been stinkers. So what happens this time, right?
She's trying to keep positive.
Yeah, as you just set up for Virgil's weekend getaway, or I guess weekend.
No parents for the weekend.
No parents for
and
the
she's
weekend.
Virgil's
she's
gonna throw a rager.
I think she's acting excited for Virgil because this is gonna be his first time being responsible for himself,
Mm-hmm.
and she's using that and she's talking in an excited voice to get him excited because you know how animals
Mhm.
respond to
Yes.
the atmosphere that you put out. So
Yeah.
she's getting him excited, and he's running around and really excited, and that's helping distract her because
Yeah.
she knows that once she gets there, she has to be ready for everything to go horribly wrong, probably.
Okay. Perfect. I think that's a very good, or I think that's a reasonable state of mind for her to be in, right? And everyone seems to be in a good place, right? It makes sense
Yeah.
why everyone would be having these thoughts. So fast forward to tonight. Class is over. You've sat around, had dinner, sat around some more, and it is now around 10:30, 10:45. What time did you guys all want to make it there? Were you going to be 10:45 sharp? You going to show up a little bit early? What's the verdict?
Early.
The letter said 10:45 at the latest,
Yes.
so safer to go at 10:30.
Yeah, early.
Okay.
I think she would have
So-
gone over with Philip.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, you-
earlier in the evening, probably.
And
And
Philip's letter was be there at 9 at the latest.
oh yeah, she'll go over with him. She'll bring a book with her to read while she's waiting for the rest of the team to show up.
Absolutely. So the rest of you, all of you can assemble at the Planar Research Building, which is, instead of the Hall of Voyages, if you recall, someone unnamed broke into the plane of Isithil using the apparatus in the Hall of Voyages, so it was kind of
who
dismantled,
it
taken
was.
offline.
We'll never find out.
And so now here at the Planar Research Building, it's almost like a tacked on little wooden structure added onto like the Divine Studies building. And it's a main floor and then a basement and then some like back storage, like a ton of storerooms and like one lecture hall that some of you might have for a planar research course. And that's it. It's a very bare bones little building. It's probably the newest one on Wildcliff's campus. And so walking in, there's a bench right there where Serenup has been sitting for the past couple hours reading and just like passing the time. And the rest of you all see this like entranceway, like this kind of like lobby area has been decorated very strangely, I think. There's strings hanging from floor to ceiling that have like brightly colored feathers attached to them. And it just stinks like vinegar in here. And you might be able to see like some liquid, presumably vinegar, dripping off of those feathers. There's sand and dirt and like other pieces of like twigs and little bits of wood and leaves scattered, like almost like the remnants of like some yard work that have just been scattered on the ground in here, as well as just like a couple of puddles here and there. The walls seem to be covered with this like very, very bright colored chalk, like pinks and bright yellows, just like not even like in the like making pictures, but literally just covering the stone or the wooden walls with chalk in an attempt to like make the room brighter looking. There is currently 2 attendants or like research assistants that are cutting up little pieces of paper to make like those, you know, when you like fold a piece of paper a bunch of times and like you cut it and then you unfold it and it's like one of those little banners that have like the shapes. They're doing that, but with like little animals, and then just sticking it to the ceiling or sticking it to walls and letting them hang down. And it's just a very strange and frantic energy in this building. Serenup, you've been here for a while, and over the course of the night, it's become more and more and more and more frantic. Like in the beginning, they were like, oh, it's chill. There was like the strings with feathers and they were like, that's cool. And then as the night has progressed, and it seems that your group is going to be the last to leave, as you've seen Philip and Yexam's group arrive and leave. Fenwick and the other people, Arior and Angelica and Kurt and Alina, they came around like 10:20ish and left. Or like 9:30ish and left. And then Dessa's team showed up and is mostly left. We'll be getting to that, except they haven't left yet. And now it's 10:30 and the energy is seemingly frantic. And that's kind of like what all of you are walking into. At the time you all are walking in, the moon is out. You can see this beautiful full moon casting a beautiful light all over campus. It's nice and bright in here. And you walk into this building and you see a set of stairs off to the right that you can go down if you'd like. And of course, Serenup, you pick up Serenup on the way.
Trot down the stairs.
As you walk down the stairs, you see a similar setup as to what's in the basement of the Hall of Voyages, a large circular platform with hooks above it that you can, like, you would put these Christmas ornament-like little balls upon.
Yes, another one to destroy.
No.
Except like the one in the Hall of Voyages only had 1 hook above it. This one seems to have like 6 or 7.
Damn.
So for some sort of purpose. And the walls are lined with these very tall glass cabinets. The basement here is quite deep. Like the ceiling is probably 15 or so feet from the ground. And the walls are just lined with these glass cabinets that have all manner of different spherical ornament-like things in there. Some are made of wood, some are made of glass, some are made of stone, some are made of metals, it seems. There's one that you can see that's out on a workbench that's made of what looks like solid gold with little wooden coins nailed into it, which who the fuck knows what's happening there. But main stage is Artis is standing next to a cart, and it seems like there was quite a few backpacks on there, and now there are only 5, 4 for you and 1 other. You also see Dessa standing and squabbling with her students, Mirandine, Karina, and Veldon, and she seems to be getting very angry with them. There is one attendant who is manning like a set of controls that seem to be controlling the spinning hook on the ceiling. And in the middle of the room, in the middle of that circular platform, is a open, very large rift into another plane of existence through which you can see beautiful saturated colors.
My eyes.
Is Ira not there? Along with the rest of her group?
You, Mira, kind of like think this question, like look around. You don't see Ira, and as you listen to the conversation that Dessa is having with her students, it seems that she is trying to convince them to go find their friend.
Oh, she got really hurt in us the last time, so that's fair.
Artis will approach the 4 of you very panicked or like frantic in energy, and he'll say, your packs are ready if you want to go. Dessa's trying to sort some things out, so we might leave before her and her group. Are you all okay? Have you seen Ira around at all?
No.
No.
Sorry.
Okay. No one seems to have seen her, so just concerning. Integrity, you haven't seen her at all? You're her study buddy. I don't know if she said anything to you.
Has she?
You haven't? No,
said
she hasn't said a thing to you
Well,
today.
no. I
Oh.
didn't see her today.
Okay. If you wanted to stay, we have 20 minutes at most to try and help if you think that's worthwhile, if you can think of any place she might be. But if not, we can just get on with heading to the marsh.
I mean, would it be problematic if she doesn't come?
I mean, it would put their research behind because they might not be able to leave without a full group. And Artis kind of like hushes down as you can hear, like, I think Karina just yelling at her mentor, like, I didn't say anything to her, right? And Dessa's like shaking her head and looks irate, right? And it just goes to like sit down at like a bench by the wall and like puts her
Irate.
head in her hands, like very much like rubbing her temples, like trying not to be furious. What do y'all want to do?
I kind of want to go over and talk to Karina.
Okay. Do the 4 of you want to go over here as well?
I feel inclined to like help look for her just because I feel really bad for the group and I'm worried about her. In case like because of like it's like a traumatic experience to go back there because she is the one who had like the biggest injury out of all of us. Would that be correct? Like even worse than Artis?
That's a good, like, yeah, she had like a broken leg and arm and stuff, so
Yeah.
and seemed to, if you recall in your conversation with her, seemed to very much feel guilty about the whole situation.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I think I will just look at my friends and sort of like should we help or not kind of thing.
Well, how long did you say we had, Artis?
We have 20 minutes at most. Like time is ticking before it closes. It's been open since the portal to Isithil's been open since 8:30ish.
If all 4 of us split up and we all checked a place that we could do a little round trip to in 20 minutes, and we checked with the other group to see where they'd already looked, we might be able to make it on time if that's what you guys feel like doing.
We could do that. Do you think we can like look around for 10 minutes and be here at
10
least?
minutes and then get back here. Do you want me to wait in here for you, or would you like me to wait on the other side with your things, with the packs and everything?
Oh, you should wait here. What if something attacks you while we're gone?
All right, sure, I'll wait here in that case. Mira, very good call, actually.
What if I get ambushed?
It's
all
Artis.
right.
You know he was just gonna get like murdered if we leave him alone
Just
for 5 minutes.
Destroyed. Giant snake erupts from Earth, eats Artis.
Oh my
Done.
gosh.
I will look over the packs a couple more times. 10 minutes, and then be back, and then head back. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
And then he'll head over to the packs, and you all find yourselves in this 10-minute panic situation. And that's where we'll end the episode, everybody. And we'll come back to this situation
Panic
next week
at
on
the
Trials
disco.
Panic
Episode title: Where in the world is Ira Alaro?
Where in the world is
Sarah,
Ira?
could you hit us with an outro, please?
Absolutely.
That
Hey
would be
guys,
great.
hope that you enjoyed listening to this episode of Trials and Trebuchets. If you enjoyed it, it would really help us out a lot if you were to leave a rating or a review on iTunes or whatever podcast app you use. We read every single one. They all make us so happy and they really help us get the word out. If you're feeling extra generous, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/trialsandtrebs, and that really helps us do stuff like get better equipment, better editing software, afford our hosting fees, cool commissioned art to show to you guys. And if you support us on Patreon, you get cool benefits like getting to make a student NPC like Kyra in the last episode, getting to see maps and DM notes, getting to vote on special bonus episodes and getting early access to them, and all kinds of things like that. Finally, if you want to see maps, fan art, teasers, and other exclusive content, you can check us out on Instagram or Twitter at Trials and Trebs. You can also find the link there to our Discord server where you can hang out with us and other listeners. Thank you so much, and we look forward to talking to you all next week.
Also, a note about the Discord link, because some people have joined our Discord and said it's impossible to find this thing. It's in the episode description, so just check there as well.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.